There's been another jihad attack in New York. Yesterday morning, a bomb went off. Well, a man who went onto the New York bus terminal in Manhattan, his name was Akayed Ullah, a classic American name there, wouldn't you agree?
As soon as I got off the bus, cops with machine guns came running up the stairs and chased us out.
It turns out he's a Bangladeshi, been in the country 7 years. Bangladeshi, now, it's not an Arab, it's not Pakistani, this time it's a Bangladeshi. What's the common thing that links these men every single time? And that will be his love for Allah and his followings of the teachings of the false prophet Muhammad. The New York Police Department tweeted today that he has been charged, yes, because he didn't blow himself up successfully. He actually just burned himself and injured 3 other people. He's been charged with criminal possession of a weapon, a bomb, supporting an act of terrorism. He blew himself up, for God's sake. He didn't support an act of terrorism. He was the terrorism. He was the act. Making a terroristic threat. A threat. It wasn't a threat, was it? He didn't threaten to do anything. He actually pressed the trigger and tried to blow everyone up. Even when you read those 3 charges, criminal possession of a weapon, supporting an act of terrorism, making a terroristic threat, that doesn't sound like they're charging him with blowing himself up, does it? We'll have to see how this pans out with the police and the prosecutors, but it doesn't read like that when you read those charges. Maybe American law is different, but he's now been treated in hospital because his crap bomb was strapped to his body and it severely burned him. He injured 3 other people, but if you think about it, if the bomb would have gone off properly, we'd have had probably multiple people dead. His reason, what was the reason he could have done this for? Because we saw the fake news reporting that his reason was because of Jerusalem. That's what I started reading. Oh, he done it because of Trump. It's Trump's fault. He would never have done it if it weren't for Trump. Well, that turns out is absolute nonsense because he's come out and he's given the reason to the police why he done it. What do you think his massive justification was for blowing their people up? That there were Christmas posters on the underground. No joke. Christmas posters. And this would come into the sense that he was angry because of the Christmas posters on the American bus station. And ironically, he made his pipe bomb out of nails and Christmas lighting wires. What could the solution be to this? The liberal, ridiculous left would be telling us, or in the future, this is the line they actually go down. It may sound ridiculous, but we'll ban Christmas posters. Yeah, tell the girls to wear trousers. Tell them not to come out late at night. Then they won't get raped by the Muslim men because they won't annoy the Muslim men. You've seen this in Germany. You've seen head teachers, when the parents are saying our daughters are being harassed, they say, walk the other way. Don't walk past them. Don't provoke them with your legs. Well, America provoked this innocent Bangladeshi immigrant who just wanted to go to America and make the country better, and they provoked him with Christmas posters. How disrespectful of America. Because obviously he doesn't celebrate Christmas, so you shouldn't be doing that. It's not fair. None of this has been fair on Akayed Ullah. None of this has been fair. A worrying thing was this man was not on any watch list in America. Now, we have 23,000 on a watch list in the UK. 23,000 who should be gone anyway already. We have 23,000. Each time there's a terror attack in the UK, we find out that the person was known to the authorities, usually approached by the authorities, usually worked with our authorities at some point, always on benefits, always paid for by us, always known. You ready for a rant? 1% of America is Muslim. 1%. 5% of my country is Muslim. 10% of France is Muslim. Since September the 11th, in New York, you've seen 6 successful jihad attacks from a population of 1%. It's a numbers game. If you'd have had the same population percentage as my country, you'd have seen 30 successful terror attacks in New York alone. 30. If you had the same percentage as France, you know, the great country and the successful beacon of multiculturalism that is France, if you'd have had that, you'd have had 60 successful terrorist attacks. So when you have someone leading your country who's attempting to address these issues, you have to let him. He was elected by the American people on his promise of protecting American citizens. Finally, after hurdle after hurdle after hurdle, he's been able to ban the 7 most dangerous countries for people coming in. Is that enough? No, it's not. Is Donald Trump trying to do more? Yes, he is. Is he being prevented from doing more? Yes, he is, by some members of his own Republican Party. If you're in America, you should be looking and learning from our mess, okay? Britain certainly is not a multicultural love nest at all, far from it. We've had 4 successful terrorist attacks in the last 9 months. I think 12 over the last year have been prevented and stopped. Do you really want to go down that path? Do you want to continue adding to that problem? As we know, it's a numbers game. The more Muslims, the more terrorism. That's the reality of where we're at. As Sadiq said, terrorism is just a part of everyday life in every major city that has a Muslim population. See you later.